I think I've solved the microphone issue. So there were some comments on the channel, and I was hearing it. There's definitely some noise in the microphone and things like that, but I think I've thoroughly solved it. I mean, if not, hey, thanks for watching anyways. But so some people are saying, because the price did drop, so I just did this video where I talked about a bunch of stuff, but one of the things was the price dropping on the Acer Predator Helios 300, and that's in comparison to when I bought it. Just a couple months ago I bought it, and let's see, it was last seen at $11.74, so that's $25 less, because it was $11.99. So it's $25 less. And then it's even hotter. So the price is dropping on this laptop, and I mean, if you were looking to get it, see, if you held out, you can now save another $11. So it's going down. I don't know if it's going to continue to go down, but it is down from when I bought it at $11.99. It's down to $11.65. It has, every day I come back, it has more and more ratings. So now it has 520 ratings. When I got it, I think it had like around 100, maybe 200 ratings, and answered questions. So it's good that a lot of people are getting the laptop, for better or for worse, no matter what you think about the laptop, because then, there's a bigger market incentive to support the laptop. And I don't know. I mean, it's just good that people are getting it. So it seems to be somewhat of a hit. It's on the Amazon choice. I don't know how that's derived. But if you were looking at this laptop, I've been putting out a lot of content. That seems to be the one thing that the YouTube algorithm is pushing for this very young channel. So, I mean, it definitely interests me, and it seems to interest other people, and people are passionate about it. Even when it just sounds like you're saying something wrong about it, you get comments like, you can tell this guy doesn't research, his bias because 9 dislikes. And it's a video that got, because I named it, watch this before buying. And I mean, it worked, because it's one of my most viewed videos. Just had like a couple hundred views. It's like nothing, but just by putting it out and getting those views, and then you see people that, I think I was saying, I don't even remember what I said, but I bought the laptop. So at the end of the day, even if I'm saying something negative, but what they said, I bought it already 2 weeks ago. This is the same guy that said that this guy, being me, doesn't do research. And since then, it's gone up to, I think it was like at 19 dislikes. But people were seeing it, so I don't know. I bought it already 2 weeks ago, and it's good. What do you mean it's bad? I disagree strongly. It has very good specs. It does. And even on max fan speeds. I think I've addressed this comment. So right now, I'm running it, and here's actually, I guess, a good benchmark for it. So if this is a gaming laptop, right? So in a lot of games these days, you can animate a scene. Like if you do some actions in the game, you can record it, but not just with your live stream, like within the software, and then you can go back and change the angles. Well, you can at least do that in GTA 5 using the Rockstar editor. And this game's been out 7 years. If you haven't played it already, you still could. They're re-releasing it and doing all that, and and it's like really cheap right now. If you go into the Epic Games, I got this into the Epic Games because they did that free promotion a few months ago. But now we see, so I don't know if Rocket League was always a free game, but I just get it. Anything that says free on the Epic Games Store, I just get, because it doesn't take up any room, and it just adds it to the library. And if I ever want to play it, I just can have it download. So why not? I mean, while Epic is here, I don't know. Epic's going up against Apple. I don't know if they're going to get sued into oblivion. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the world will end, and the least of our worries about freaking video games. But they gave away this Grand Theft Auto for free, which goes for $14.99 right now. So I mean, it's cheap because it's what's going on 7 years old, right? September 13. So we're at 7 years old. But they're running a sale right now. If that's of interest to you, the viewer. But either way, the point of it is that you can, in Grand Theft Auto, and perhaps other games, see a cool one that they just gave away, is this Watch Dogs game. So that's free right now. So if you happen to see this video right now, I mean, and if you haven't played it, you get Watch Dogs 2. They recently did Hitman, which is pretty cool. Like, these were AAA titles that have just aged a little bit. But I mean, who cares? Especially if you haven't played it at all. Like, I mean, if you got it, then it wouldn't be that cool. But there's definitely a bunch of people, no matter how many millions of people that got it, there's more people that have it. And I was definitely one that had it. Grand Theft Auto was probably like my last video game purchase, was back when it came out in 2013. And then it was my first, after a long time of not getting any games, and getting it for free, and getting all these for free. So some of the AAA titles that I guess I've gotten for free, which probably still run anywhere from $15 to $60, because some still run, if you want to buy it in the store and you don't get it while it's free, you could be paying that much. So we have Borderlands 2, I've heard a lot about, and then you get Borderlands, the pre-sequel, Hitman, and I mean all these other games, but I'm going for, what are relatively AAA titles. Well, I've definitely heard of Borderlands, outside of it. I've definitely heard of Hitman, and, being just not into gaming. Rocket League, I've heard from listening to the tech channels and them using it as like a benchmark game, on laptops and computers. And then Watch Dogs 2. And then I still have Civilization 6. Because, like, how much, and then what you can always do, let's see. Ark Survival. Do I not have Civilization anymore? So there you go, Sid Meier's Civilization. With one add-on. Look at that, that's cool. That's the only one that says one add-on. So I haven't opened any of these games yet, just the Grand Theft Auto. So what this gets to is this benchmark that we're running right now. So you can set up the cameras. So, Grand Theft Auto, it's built for, high-speed car chases and, violence and police chases and things of that nature. So you can create a pretty high intensity, and it's set in LA. So, I mean, how Hollywood is that? So you can, in the game, act out a rival Hollywood sequence, and then you can go back and edit the cameras and give it cinematic cameras, or do, whatever you want, and then export it at the full frame rate. So instead of it being locked to whatever it could render in real time, it just, you say you want to render it at 60 and it renders at 60. So then someone playing it on YouTube or whatever, you get the full quality, which is pretty cool. So the added thing that I do to it is I put it into After Effects and use the After Effects pixel motion blur effect, and crank up the settings on it. And I don't know if you could see in the little window down here. I mean, I'll be uploading this to the channel, so this would be a good chance to get subscribed. If you want to see the end result, I'm uploading, every once in a while, these motion blur GTA videos, as kind of, because I mean, I love action movies. I love being able to create, action-y movies. And I think this is like a pretty crazy tool. So I'm sure I hope there's other games that do this, especially now the AAA titles that are coming out. I mean, you can create movies essentially inside of the game for rather cheap, and I know there's a bunch of people that do it. I'm nowhere near the first person who's done this, but it's a cool tool nonetheless. Like, I mean, you'll see there's in GTA, especially because it was such a big title, there's a lot of videos on YouTube which it looks like they have to be using these kinds of tools to create their videos, because it's not conventional game angles. It's these angles that are clearly deliberate, and it's deliberate because if you're driving fast or whatever, you can't be like in this angle here looking from the front of the car and not be able to see what's happening in front of you for very long, because you're gonna crash. So what this allows you to do is to play the game at the best angle, and then come back and your best scenes, your best gameplay, turn it into a whole scene, and then you get the full sound design and the full rendered game. So I think this should be definitely improved, like for games that come out. This thing like what I'm doing now, adding the motion blur, makes it more cinematic. I can see the actual render engine. So one of the constraints of this, at least in GTA 5, is how far you can place the camera away from the character. There's like a sphere, which is pretty big, but can be pretty limiting. So like if you're in an aircraft or something, if you're moving at high speeds, you may want something really far away, but it doesn't let you. Now, I can understand the technical limitations, because you can see that even though it's supposed to be it's pre-rendering everything, that the renderer has built-in limits, because cars only appear when they're so close to the camera. So if you look really far away, you'll see cars blipping in and out of traffic. And now in real-time gameplay, you would need to definitely save on memory to be able to do that. But when you're pre-rendering, you have all the time in the world to render all of those vehicles. So I would like to see and maybe leave in the comment section, let me know of a game that does, I wonder if Watch Dogs has that same kind of feature, because Watch Dogs and GTA are compared a lot, so it'll be interesting doing. And Watch Dogs I've never played, so I want to record the first time, I guess, a reaction video of Watch Dogs, and it's supposed to be similar, and I would be interested to see if it has that kind of feature. Because why are they similar? Well, they're both set in California, one in like the fictional Los Santos, which is supposed to be LA, and Watch Dogs, which is supposed to be San Francisco, but is limited in scope and size because of the reality of creating the game. So it'd be interesting to see if it has that kind of features, and then just how they differentiate, because they're definitely very different games, but they have a lot of similarities. So what this gets to is this benchmark where this laptop, we started talking about the laptop. So this is a gaming laptop, and a lot of people, myself included, got this laptop with the idea to, perhaps occasionally game, but also to do, professional work like in Premiere and After Effects and Media Encoder, Audition and Photoshop and any of the other design suite softwares or professional, CAD or whatever. But and be able to get good performance. So this has been so now to take this footage and to render it takes obviously so much time, and then to apply this effect takes a good amount of time, and it's an intensive process what it's doing. It has to analyze each frame, and then I set it to do 30 samples of the blur, so it would be really, really good. So that means it has to predict what 30 instances of each frame would look like, more or less, and then blur them in the motion, from one frame where it moves from one side to the other, and then add that motion blur and then render that out. So that's what's happening right now. And to perform this, we could see here in Task Manager so our Acer Predator Helios laptop, which I hope people like it. Look at this. There's like a whole thread on this. Can we undervolt? It's already undervolted by default. How much? Yeah, it's negative 125 millivolts. That's the reason for its better thermals. Okay, great. There you go. So the YouTube community. Look at that. It gave me a little auto reply. Thanks, will do. Thanks a ton. So there are some answers about the Acer Predator Helios 300. And the great news, the big headline news, is that it's $11 cheaper today. And that's down now, what is that, $34 from when I bought it. So I don't know where this ships to, but if you're in the United States looking for it, the price is definitely going down. Maybe as we get closer to Black Friday, and there's going to be the Amazon Prime Day. They just announced it. It's going to be October 13th. So last year, there was apparently Amazon. There were like $3,000 cameras. There we go. This. Amazon accidentally sold $13,000 of camera gear for only $100 on Prime Day. What? This. So I doubt this is going to happen. Discounted a wide range of camera gear for Prime Day this week, but some photographers scored what may be the best deal of their lives. Thanks to a pricing error, many people were able to purchase high-end camera gear, some items worth as much as $13,000 for just around $100. It started when someone noticed that the 550, so when it was being listed at just $94.50, and the person shared the deal on Slick Deals where it hit the front page. Able to see the same price and place orders while they're still seeing the normal price. It wasn't third-party sellers. The gear was being sold and shipped by Amazon. They price matched. Like, I missed all this. When was this? This was a year ago, July 2019. Oh man, I want that camera. So I'm sure this is crazy. Oh my god. Great remorse. So I don't know what's going to go on Prime Day this year or at any day, but the prices are always changing. So if you're looking for gear, even if you're eyeing gear, you may just want to be looking out for the deal. Because let's see. Canon EOS R, what is that running for right now? $17.99. It's not even in stock. If I see that dip below, $1,500, beyond that, like white on rice. So Prime Day is coming up. Are you ready? And I mean, just, but I mean, even if then you just fucking flip that shit, that's a money making opportunity no matter how you look at it. If you're a photographer and that's your business, or you're a videographer and that's your business, or you do YouTube videos and that's your business, or you're gonna flip that, whatever. If you're either one of those ones with both great celebration who received it, or those with great pain great remorse. With great celebration comes great remorse. So I guess just be on the lookout. I mean, if you want something bad enough, maybe who knows? Maybe it wasn't a pricing error. Maybe they just look at this publicity that it did. I mean, look at this. Think about that. Think about this headline on Prime Day. So we're talking about it, and I'm talking about Prime Day is coming up. So just think about that. Good job, Amazon.